Hello, and we're live. I think I'm live by myself right now because Pavan is still figuring his way up into the camera. Somehow he's still trying to figure his adjustments with the camera. So in the meantime, I'll tell you what we're going to be talking about today. As I've been announcing on our TCCN page for the longest time, we're going to be talking about chili peppers. So India is the largest producer of chilies. And Thailand is known for its chilies too, the Thai chilies that we often use in our homes. And but did you know that the chilies, they did not originate in the South Asian subcontinent or even in the Southeast Asian subcontinent? They were brought to South Asia by Spanish, by Portuguese, only in 16th or 17th century. But how did chili become such an integral part of South Asian and Southeast Asian foods? So let's talk chilies today. And we welcome our audience to join us live and share their chili stories as well, because I know everybody has a chili story. Can you handle chilies? How hot can you eat? Do you cook chilies? Do you eat them raw? Do you fry them in oil? Do you eat hot sauce? Do you like chili flakes on your pizza? Do you like banana peppers on the side of pizza? Do you like banana peppers in your subs? Everybody has a chili story, so we welcome you to share that story with us. Welcome to Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar with our guest who is an expert in everything and nothing, Pavan Elapavuluri.
Ayanchu.
Hello. Ali didn't play our intro, so I'm going to play it before I bring you back in again. What's up?
Ayanchu.
Are we Thai today?
No, this is hello in Quechua language, which is a native language in Bolivia.
Oh, maybe I'll fight with you over Bolivia and Brazil. Maybe I'll say Brazil is where chili started.
Oh, it started all over South America. So there are native chili peppers even up to Arizona. So it is an American dish. So in fact, Christopher Columbus got the chilies from Hispaniola, which is currently Haiti and Dominican Republic. So,
why do you look shorter than me? There you go. And you look roasted like a chili pepper too, because I think you've been spending a lot of time in the sun and you need some lighting in that room. So we need to arrange that for next time. All right. So let's, Christopher Columbus, he came to America. What was the exact year, or when was the time frame when Columbus came to U.S.?
It is 1492.
And that's when he discovered chilies too.
Mm-hmm. That's when in 1492 is when he got the first chili peppers. That's when he found the botanist who was traveling with Christopher Columbus identified the plant, and it was in Mayan people referred it as achi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it came from. So, and then he took it to Africa. And then within one of the fastest adaptations of any food in the world history, like within 50 years, chili pepper spread all over the world.
Yeah, and also when he came to the Americas and when he discovered chilies, he thought that they were in the same family as black pepper that he was familiar with. And that's the reason why he called it chili pepper as opposed to just chili, because in Americas, they called it chilies. They did not call it chili pepper, and they still don't.
Yeah, so there is more reason than that. Because he thought he was in India, and he knew that India has peppers. So and peppers were in a pod, and he knew that they were in a long pod. So when he saw that, he thought that he collaborated. That's what your bias does, is right. Like you try to fit all the evidence to your bias. So he fit in the evidence that, oh, of course I'm in India. I see brown people. I see they eating peppers. So let's call them peppers, chili peppers. That's what happened. So,
or maybe Christopher Columbus, not the smartest dude. He didn't really I mean,
No, he's very smart. He's the one who was able to circumnavigate, like land to India, which is not India. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of Christopher Columbus for multiple reasons. So yeah, let's not get into that. But yeah, Christopher Columbus, he found chilies here in South America when he came in. He took them back to Europe where there was no chilies before that. And then they traveled from there, they traveled to the subcontinent, to the South Asian subcontinent. They went to India, they went to Thailand, they went to all these places that currently use chilies quite a bit in their foods.
So they travel to India through Persia and Arabia. So so the evidence for that is the Mayan language for chilies is ach, axl, axi, achi, or achi. So in Persia and Arabia, the pickled peppers were called achar, and that's how our achar is from the Mayan language. So Indian language even borrows from the Mayan language. So that's our pickle size achar, which is with some peppers, is from a Mayan language.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's
you
talk
were
about.
planning to trump me on all the facts, were you?
I don't have to plan to do that. That's if I get started talking about chilies, I can talk about chilies because I can eat chilies. I can eat chilies, man. So let's talk about the personal stories. Let's talk about the personal experience with chilies. I absolutely love chili peppers. I have some few here. This is my favorite, the bird's eye chili, the Thai chili, or even the green chili that we find a lot in Indian cuisine, in Punjabi cuisine especially. We use a green chili quite a bit. But it is a sister of this chili. It is a sister of the Thai chili. And then I have the dry red chili here that we use in a lot of our cooking in Indian foods. And the jalapeno, of course, which I don't think I've ever seen it in India as much, like unless now it might be in the specialty stores there. But jalapeno wasn't very common in India, but we have it common here in Canada. And then we have the serrano pepper, and then we have poblano, the what is the other one? The
Habanero.
Habanero, yes. Sorry. The habanero peppers. And of course, I had to bring this up. We have the bell peppers. And did you know, this is the coolest thing I've discovered while I was researching for this. Did you know that green pepper, as it ripens, it becomes the yellow pepper, and then it becomes orange pepper, and then it becomes red pepper? Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that. That is the craziest thing I've heard. So I didn't know that. I thought they were all different peppers, but
you are eating the vegetable and the fruit in the same family.
Yeah, apparently that's what happens. It changes from green to yellow to red, and red is the most mature of them, and that's why, well, it is the healthiest as well because it has beta carotene that green pepper doesn't, and that's why red is the most expensive as well because it took a long time to mature. So green is plucked earlier than red is. So in this bag we have 3 red, 1 yellow, and 1 green. So they must be expensive, eh? Did you spend a lot of money on this? And of course, chili flakes that we have in our kitchens. All of us do because pizza does not taste good without chili peppers. You have Tabasco. You cannot live without Tabasco. Paprika, which basically is just, well, there's 2 or 3 different kinds of paprika. There's a Hungarian paprika too. This is the most general paprika, which is, I think you just add it for the smoky flavor and color. It doesn't really add.
Okay. Hold on. You know what paprika is, though?
We'll get there in a few seconds, and then I'll talk about. And then there's a sriracha chili sauce, and then I have another hot sauce which I got from Okanagan Valley, and Ali was kind enough to get me a few more when he visited. So I have a whole bunch of these, and I love this sauce, guys. So anyone who wants these, it's called the Mum's Okanagan sauce. Darn hot. Make sure you get the darn hot one. I absolutely love this sauce with anything and everything. And it was just a chance discovery when we were in the Okanagan this year. And I'm not going back on sauces anymore. I don't have to find another sauce. I found my sauce for life. All right. Let's begin with, we did a little bit of history already. I actually, what I asked you earlier is what I really want to talk about is that chili came from South America, but it is used in India extensively now, and India is the largest producer of chilies right now. Why did India and other South Asian countries, as well as Southeast Asian countries, why did we adopt the chili more than the people who brought the chilies, the Spanish, the Portuguese? They did not adopt the chili as much as we did. Why?
Because our Indian cuisine has always had pepper. It was always on the hot side of the cuisine. So, and pepper didn't really cooking pepper is very, very tricky. You have to grind it at right before. It doesn't fry very well. It doesn't really add all the flavor to it. It doesn't really fry in the oil very well. That it isn't. And once you grind it, and it can't store very well. Once it stays out in the light, it loses its flavor. There were a lot of problems with pepper, and Indian food really didn't cook very well with pepper. So, and
you're
once
talking about the black pepper.
the black pepper,
Let's make that very clear. You're talking about the black pepper.
mm-hmm.
So Indian food, Indian people were eating hot food anyway,
Mm-hmm.
or not just Indian. I'm talking about the entire South Asian and Southeast Asian subcontinent. We were eating hot foods anyway. I think it's also because we're in the tropics. Hot
Mm-hmm.
food is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
It's better.
That's true.
It's better when it's hot.
Yeah, it's but and it the food doesn't go bad so quickly. So that's the pepper has that's the reason why pepper was a big commodity which was traded to Europe, because their meats were going really, really bad, and then they found that pepper really stored the meat very well. So that's the reason. And in hotter climates, you would want the food to taste good, and it added a lot of flavor, and it brought out a lot of flavors as well.
Added a kick, man.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about, okay, let's first finish the history part. So black pepper wasn't really convenient to cook with. So
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really working out for Southeast Asian and South Asian countries. So they went and took these peppers from South America, and then they maybe cultivated the breeds that are now popular there, which are green chilies and Thai chilies, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
There is a difference in flavor of this pepper and the chili pepper. Sorry, I have my props today. Yes, Anusha, I'm going to use them. Okay, so there's a difference between these two peppers. The flavor difference. So the flavor difference is this pepper is more flat. So when you eat the jalapenos or eat any South American peppers, it literally just, by flat, what I mean is covers all of your tongue and you feel the heat all over your mouth. But it's a very flat heat. But when you eat a Thai chili, it's like a tingling sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, I can tell the difference. It's just that the Scoville units. That's the
No, that's not the difference. That is one of the difference. That Scoville units, absolutely, yes, the difference. But there's a difference between the way they attack your receptors in your mouth. I am a chili expert, man. Talk to me about chilies.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
so when it's a flat
I'm also
chili,
a prop here, so let's go. You bought all the props in there.
No, literally, when you eat a jalapeno, come on, you guys have to agree with me. So when you eat a jalapeno, your whole tongue is covered in the sensation of heat. But when you eat this, it's like a feeling of needles all over your mouth. So there's the Scoville units is an entirely different ballgame. I'm just talking about the flavor, the way they attack the sensations in the receptors in your mouth. They're different.
The only difference between those two is the amount of capsaicin. That's the only difference.
Yeah, that's the scientific. That's
like
the
how it attacks you. That depends on how your mucous membrane is
No,
Whether you,
no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. So basically, so there is, I've been researching this too. So there is this Institute of Chilies in America. What they've discovered is, of course, scientists just look at the Scoville units and the shape of chilies to identify them. Scientists do that. You're absolutely right. But what they've discovered is they're looking at the heat, they're looking at the shape, they're also looking where it dissipates, where it attacks in your mouth. Dissipates is also important. If it's dissipating in your throat, in your stomach, where is it dissipates in
Dissipating
different
where?
areas.
What do you mean by dissipating?
That it comes out the other end and it burns you. So that's
No,
one
but
of it.
no. Dissipating, like what does it mean dissipating? So you mean you are not chewing you're not chewing
Where you feel it more as it travels down.
that has.
Yeah, it's different. It's different for every chili. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
it all depends upon how much you chew it. Like if you chew it
No,
more, it digests. Where it
no.
digests is where your body absorbs capsaicin is what it is. Where it releases capsaicin is what it releases. So in this in the jalapeno, maybe most of it is released in the tongue, because in the mouth, because there is more to chew onto. That's
जो भी
exactly
है, जो भी है. But that's what it is. And then there's a difference that it's a flat and it's a sharp chili. So that's also a flavor difference, and that has nothing to do with the capsaicin at all.
okay.
There are some chilies with a higher score, the shoe score, which are flat, than the Thai chili. But Thai chili is sharp.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me find the Scoville scores. I am like really hyped about this. Okay. Let's
Okay.
see.
Wow. What am I? Yeah, that's a lot of numbers there. It's like.
So that is shoe score that Pavan is talking about. So you want to talk about the Scoville scores? I'll let you talk about that.
Oh, the prop gets to chance to show off today. There, it's just the amount of dilution of sugar water Dr. Scoville used to put it on taste subjects, but now they use some
He
sort
was
of
not a doctor, yo.
he
He was
was
a
a scientist.
pharmacist. He was a pharmacist.
Well, he's a scientist. I
Get
thought he was a
get your
PhD.
get your history right.
Oh boy, called me out.
Maybe he was a doctor. I don't know, but he was a pharmacist. Maybe he was a doctorate.
I
He had a
thought he's a
doctorate in.
scientist, so maybe.
Maybe he had a doctorate in pharmacy. People who are watching, Anusha, can you check? Ali, can you check? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
You
you
were
do
saying.
it. It's like you seem to be you seem to know everything. So I will keep saying.
See, Sarah agrees with me, and she's the chef. The chef I look up to. There are different flavor profile to peppers. You need to be eating chili to know that. Pavan, he looks like he eats chili, but he doesn't. He's the biggest wuss I know
Yeah,
in terms of chilies.
I don't see a point in getting pleasure out of pain. So there is no
Okay, you were talking about Scoville score. We'll get to the pleasure out of pain part too, because
well,
there
if I
is
say
pleasure.
something, you will counter it. So there is no point in saying anything.
I will
you go.
correct it when it's wrong. So go ahead.
So that's just a dilution of the sugar water, so that the pain gets away. So the peppers, the bell peppers you showed it to, it has 0 score. So they are very sweet. So they are called sweet peppers, and it keeps on increasing. So the Californian Reaper, which was recently produced, like the breed, it has like the highest, 8 million or something. It's like crazy, and there is
8?
no.
2.2 million.
Yeah, something, it doesn't matter, a 2.2 or 2.8, it doesn't really matter. It's crazy. So yeah, all these numbers doesn't really matter. What I was thinking about is, what do you do with these peppers, like really hot peppers, and bhut jolakia, the hottest Indian pepper, which was hottest till
Scoville
few years.
score से कहाँ पहुंच गए भाई?
Yeah,
किधर जा रहे हो?
Scoville score is not very interesting. What is so interesting about Scoville
I
scores?
want to know what is Scoville score. What is
It's
this
just
shoe units?
it's the amount of dilution, so that you don't feel the taste with sugar
Yeah,
water.
And do you know how it started? Do you want to talk about who's, I mean, of course you said it was a doctor, but it was not a doctor. We'll figure that out in a second. I've asked Ellie to look it up. But what is this? What do you mean by dilution in sugar water? How did he figure the Scoville heat units? And is that the same method that's being used right now?
Am I in a tutorial, like a lesson? It's like
I want to know. That's what
so
you're
so
here for.
so what he did was he had like trained tasters, and he would take put some drops of the extract from these, and then dilute them with thousands of water, thousands and thousands, so that at what thousands they stop feeling the heat. So that was a
See?
measure.
See,
So
that's what we're talking about. That's what we needed to be talking about.
yeah, so
So
it's
he
like
had people tasting it. So it was very subjective.
hmm
It
but
was very subjective.
it was a trained taster. That's why there is always a range. But now it's not subjective. Now they would use a spectrogram, like a spectrograph, like a to identify the quantity of capsaicin in the pepper. So it's
And
not subjective
so they
in the
do liquid chromatography, which
yeah.
is separating and analyzing compounds in any mixture. I mean, we've done that in university when we went to
Hmm.
university. We've used we've done that process of chromatography to
Hmm.
find the different compounds. And now that's how they find the ppm present in any
Hmm.
given pepper of capsaicin. But what is really cool, what they figured was that if you take the measurement with these machines or with the actual scientific tool that is being used, is that the number you would get, if you multiply that number by 16, you get the number that Scoville originally in 1912 using human testers came up with. So Scoville
16
was
is.
really onto something.
Mhm.
That's crazy. So not 16.1, not 16.2. Every number you can multiply by 16 and you'd get the Scoville number, the
I'm not very
original.
I'm not very surprised because it's all an electrical signal, right? So the protein which gets activated by capsaicin sends an electrical signal to the brain. So how
Yeah.
much electrical signal? So the pain is this the amount of electrical signal which gets to the brain. So that so that so the amount of capsaicin is directly proportional to the volt. It's called a thermo. It's called a potential measure. So it's called TRP or something. Thermoreceptor.
TRPV1.
Yeah, thermoreceptor potential. So potential is nothing but the current. So this protein has a potential difference which gets activated when the capsaicin touches that receptor. So
Yeah.
so
We've been
so the
talking about capsaicin. Capsaicin is an active component of chili peppers, which in the plants, in the chili peppers. So it has these guys, big guys, little guys, have an active component that is called capsaicin. That's what
mhm,
they measure to see the pungency or the heat of the peppers.
mhm. And yeah, that's very strange. That's very cool. That 16. So that's the multiplication factor of our brain. So it's just a
Yes, our
scalar
brain
unit. Yeah.
perceives it 16 times more. That's
Mm.
very interesting, hey? And
It's
also, the pain receptors. Why do you feel the heat? You feel the heat with the pain receptors in your mouth. They are lit on fire with capsaicin, and it's the TRPV1 receptor that you spoke about. It is triggered by this compound, and then when that gets triggered, the neurotransmitter, which is called the substance P, gets triggered in our body. So that's the chemical
and
process that
yeah,
happens.
and the same protein, like the same receptor is also a heat receptor. That's why you feel the
Yeah,
same things as you are hot, like when you really
the
get hot.
thermal heat receptor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the thermal heat receptors, and the way you turn red and everything. So the one of the big research topics in pain is to understand how to, if you can turn on the pain with the capsaicin, can you turn off the pain too? So it's like a switch, right? So
yeah.
can we use these receptors to turn off the pain? So there is a big research in saying that can we do this, and that's really cool.
Yeah, there's actually I read about this too. is that capsaicin is used as a pain reliever as well.
Mm.
So if you rub it on the skin, it goes to the TRPV1 receptor, the pain receptor, and it overloads it so majorly that TRPV1 receptor is unable to transmit pain in that area. So the capsaicin actually works as a local anesthetic. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
So the mitch, the capsaicin, the heat that burns our mouth, it can also relieve the pain if you rub it on skin.
Yeah, it's and we were talking about it, and I was always under the impression that they do cause ulcers, but it's not true. Like they don't cause. In fact, they're used as a treatment for ulcers. Capsaicin inhibits as an inhibitor for acid. It seems that that was very very counterintuitive to what I. But then I figured, why do we have a heartburn with it? But that's a totally different story. But that
not me, you do.
Yeah, you don't like. I do get some heartburn, but that's because it does cause it, but it causes because that's the part what it should do. So the capsaicin really slows down the digestion. That's why it does heartburn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it slows down the digestion because again, it wants the mirch, like the peppers were evolved so that birds could eat them because the receptors work differently in the birds. But the thing is, the seeds have to be digested, so that the coating on the seeds have to be digested for them to germinate easily. And so for that, you have to, for these seeds have to stay in the bird's digestive system for a longer time, so that the coating, the cellulite coating on the seeds have to be fully digested. So that's why this capsaicin slows down the digestion. So when you eat a lot of chili peppers, if you feel that you have a heartburn, that means that the acid is getting built up because the food is staying in your stomach for a longer time. So you won't feel.
There's something. I learned something new there.
So that's why if you're dieting, eat a lot of peppers, because your food will stay in your tummy for a longer time. You don't get hungry.
See, there you go. People ask me, you eat so much, why do you not gain weight? It's because I eat a lot of chili peppers. I eat like 3 of these guys every day. 3.
That's a lot of capsaicin. And there was a test, like, would you die? Would you overdose it? So the Californian Reaper, which is like you have to eat.
Okay, wait, hold on. We'll get to that. So let me add a little bit on to what you said. There's a few things that you said. One is you talked about birds. Did you know there's a few myths that we need to bust here? So did you know that birds, they do not feel the heat in their mouth? So the birds pick these pepper seeds and they disperse them. They propagate them by pooping them out.
They eat the whole fruit. They don't pick.
They eat it. So that's how they disperse it, right? They disperse them by pooping them out because they swallow these seeds. And what you just said about them germinating easier, yada yada, all of that. So that adds into that. So birds are the reason why we have these amazing wild peppers that we get to eat. And also,
I want to add on that but mammals feel the heat, so they did a lot of tests, and mice and rats won't even touch peppers because they have so much. So this is an evolution, like evolving, so that mammals don't ruin the fruit, but birds eat them, and then birds propagate. So it's they want birds to take away birds. They want to use birds as an agent, but mammals would eat them, and then they don't disperse far, and then they don't and the digestive system is not really cool.
Okay, so now let's talk about all of the things that you mentioned. I'm going to bust some myths here, because that's what I like to do. Peppers do not cause ulcers. In fact, peppers protect the stomach lining. And what was really cool is peppers thin the blood. I thought that was amazing. Like, that's so cool. Like, blood pressure. You don't get blood pressure because if you eat peppers. And
but don't eat salt with it, though.
They remove the bad cholesterol. the plaque from your arteries, because capsaicin is fat soluble, which many of you who eat peppers that you know, because after eating peppers, you don't, if your mouth is burning, you don't drink water, because with the water, you're just going to spread the pepper around.
That's the worst
You
thing to
drink milk, or you
do.
drink something dairy, or eat yogurt, or eat sour cream, or eat mayonnaise. I don't know, like anything that has fat in it. So that
The milk
what it
fat
does
breaks
is
it, yeah.
yeah, the fat breaks the capsaicin. So same thing happens in the body. It goes into the body and removes the bad cholesterol plaque from your arteries, which is good for you. So you won't get a heart attack. So eat peppers for that reason. And they're also being actually touted as something very essential for cancer prevention. Apparently, capsaicin attacks tumors.
Oh,
Do you know that?
That is too much.
No, there is actual study behind it. It
Okay.
attacks tumors. There is a study behind it. I researched on that too. So that was kind of neat. And also what you just said, that chili peppers were in the beginning, not in the beginning, evolutionary, from an evolutionary standpoint, chili peppers have that heat because they don't want mammals to eat them, right? But what happens with peppers is if you eat them, they also release endorphins. You feel great. You get that cocaine high, basically, if you eat peppers. If you eat a lot of peppers, you feel very happy. You feel great because they release endorphins. So it's kind of counterintuitive.
So that I think no, it's not. So I think the peppers have used humans to evolve too. So they have used humans, and then they figured out the humans are like dogs, right? Did dogs evolve around humans, or humans evolve around dogs? So peppers used humans as an evolutionary mechanism to grow. What is the essential of a species, right? To grow, to develop into a bigger species. And peppers figured out that humans are really wanting this spice, so they really worked around humans' taste, and then they evolved and used humans to propagate all around the world. So I think peppers are very smart, and they used humans. So I don't believe that. I don't and peppers are evolving around, and that's how evolution works. So we were another species, like birds, which peppers used to propagate. That's exact. And peppers were really successful. They were in they were in South America. Now they were everywhere in the world.
They're everywhere in the world. Every country grows peppers. Incredible. It is one of the most, I think, the cultivation. Oh, sorry, I'll get to your story in a second, Sarah. The cultivation of pepper is so competitive. Every 3 months, there's a different pepper that comes out that has a higher SHU unit. That has more pungency, that has more heat. Actually, you talked about the Carolina Reaper, so let's quickly mention that. And I know that Sarah had talked about it in her video. I will get to the experiences, because I do want to talk about experiences with chili as well in just a brief moment. But the Carolina Reaper, it was cultivated by someone in South Carolina.
Ed.
It was Ed? Okay. Ed is Pavan's business partner, but no, he was not the one who cultivated.
Yeah, Ed would turn red.
Okay, his name was Ed Curry. I just looked it up. He was in Fort Mill, South Carolina. And he, go figure, hey? And he crossbred ghost pepper Bujalakia with red habanero. So the Bujalakia was the boss. It was the champion from 2007 and 2013. That was in the Guinness Book of World Record. It was the reigning champ, but after that, Carolina Reaper took over, and its peak heat, or the SHU unit, is 2.2 million. So basically, at some point, you just lose a track of it, right? Like it gets super hot, and then there's no point.
If it's in hundreds of thousands, it's pointless. I think that's just too much heat. So,
and let me just finish the thought.
What do you do with this heat, though? What do you do with this heat? Pointless.
Let me finish my thought. So basically, people are cultivating these peppers, and but now these people are advocating that there should be a central body dedicated to judge the hottest pepper, and they think the government should invest in it. So they are very serious about their peppers, and they're very proud of their peppers and the mixing of the peppers and the breeds that they're creating of peppers. So pepper is here to stay. And Bhut Jalakia, I know that Sarah, guys, they had asked the question, what do you do with the Bhut Jalakia? And that's relates to what you were just saying. What do you do with these peppers
There
that
is
are so hot?
there is nothing. So I really had that question. So I was researching on that, and then I went into the historical records of Bhut Jolakia. And then there is someone really asked this question and went into Assam. So there is another thing. Bhut doesn't mean ghost. Bhut is a word for Bhutanese. Assamese said Bhut Zolakia, that is from Bhutan. So because it grew on the northern parts of it. So it has nothing to do with ghost and everything. But ghost pepper, we like the name. It's not Bhutanese pepper, it's ghost pepper. That we like the ghost more than Bhutan. No, Bhutan is a cool country, but I like ghost more
Happiest
than.
country in the world, man.
Yeah. So the thing is, and then they went back into the historical record. So they asked people like, what do you do with this pepper? And first thing is, they use these peppers. The main reason they use these peppers is they use this to line on the fields, so that elephants in Assam used to come and destroy the fields. So they use this pepper powder as an elephant repellent. That's the main thing. And they said that they will, if they are cooking for a big feast, like a village feast, they would use one pepper in a big pot of curry for everything. So this is not really the people who grew around this never used it for cooking. They just, maybe they powdered it and used a little pinch of it. So this was more of a, and Indian government is using it for weaponizing it. So they're making to make grenades, and so they're weaponizing it. So it is so hard that you're weaponizing it, and you're taking it and making 3 times more powerful. What point? Like it's just a measuring contest. That at some point it is. So
It
but
is a measuring contest, pepper
yeah,
measuring.
a pepper measuring contest, like a capsaicin measuring contest here. So and even Assamese people don't use butsolakia. This is pointless. And you tried to cook or with habanero at some point, and it overpowered the whole dish. Did you do that?
I I can handle chili pepper. I can really, really handle chili. But I went and I was in Mucho Burrito. They had the ghost pepper
So
special going,
yeah.
and I got ghost pepper. And then my daughter was with me. She's like, "Mom, you can handle it." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I can handle it. I'll do it." So I added, I think, 3 ghost peppers or something. I can't remember, but I think I went for the hot version. I could not eat that burrito. It was impossible for me to eat that burrito. It burnt my stomach, it burnt my insides. It was not really
And then
pleasurable at all.
it just overpowers everything. And that's my
Yeah.
point with Indian cooking too. Indian cooking, what it does is, it there is no gradation of spices, and we lot of spices, and then at the end you crush the chili and onion, both very pungent, and cook all of them together. There is no, you can't really do the flavors, the layers of flavors.
I
that's
actually
that's
want to speak to this. I want to speak to this, Heather. They actually use chili peppers to repel squirrels. It's already happening. They put it in the bird seed feeders, and birds are, of course, not afraid of pepper. And they don't even feel the heat, but squirrels do run away from them. Yep. So yeah, so like I said, there's but up to a certain extent though. Now talking about personal experiences with pepper, I cannot eat anything without chili, without that kick. I need to have it because I don't put it in my food now. I don't cook with it because my daughter doesn't eat it, my husband doesn't eat it. I have to have it on the side, and I'll always have to have at least 1 or 2 either green chilies, Indian green chilies,
I
or the
think
Thai red pepper.
I think you burnt your receptors. So so you are getting a gradation of, like, spices is like you are hitting the different thermal receptors in your tongue, right? So you burnt, like, it's like thermostats. There is a thermostat for 30 degrees, there is a thermostat for 40 degrees, there's a thermostat for 50 degrees. You burnt everything less than 70 degrees. So the only heat you feel, because all your bottom thermostats are broken,
Yo,
is the
I feel
Carolina Reaper. That's the
listen, they're
only
not
thing you will.
broken. The proof for that is when I drink hot water, I still feel the pain. So they're not
Yeah, but
broken.
because well, if you normal people feel the heat at even 30 degrees. You only need to drink
No.
water at 90, like boiling water. You only drink 90 degrees. I want to talk about the Three Kitchens podcast. I really loved their the recipe you shared. I want to.
Pavan cooks it with this.
Yeah, no.
Not this.
I got my own props.
Oh, I was like, where is it? Why didn't? Okay, my daughter got me the sauces. I told her pull all the hot sauces from the fridge, and she did not give me that. Where did you hide it?
I didn't
She
hide
didn't
it.
give
I
me
went
that.
into the fridge and got it. So
Man.
that's an
Ah,
amazing recipe, and I was like, "Whoa!" I use a very crude version of that recipe. What I do is I cut the tofu exactly like that, put some butter in the frying pan, and sear it at really high temperature. Top of the tofu at really high temperature. I sear it very quickly, and then I add soya sauce, and this is a very I would really like sambal sauce, which is a Malaysian sauce, but I use this garlic chili Thai paste by the same company, Hu Fong Foods, which is makes sriracha. So and then it tastes amazing. That's the only spicy food my daughter likes. She doesn't like any other,
yeah,
but
I
she
find
loves this.
I
The,
find
the
that incredible because she doesn't eat any spice at all. I'm trying to put spice into her food now, but she eats that tofu.
Yeah, because I think there is two things to it. There is that fat, both tofu fat and the butter. So the butter is all soaked into tofu because it's very spongy. So it adds this flavor, but cuts the capsaicin very quickly. So I think that's what it is. So the recipe they were was very intricate, and like they wanted to do like a lot of cool things about it, but me being a very crude person, like I just improvised it without even knowing what I was doing. I ate something in the Chinese restaurant, and
Restaurant. Yeah.
yeah, I improvised it, and Arohi loves it, so we do that all the time.
I don't like it. It's not hot enough for me.
Yeah, well, you
So
can take on a spoon on the side and just drink it. So
that's what I do. That's what I do. Oh yeah, this is so funny. Whenever I'm feeling a little down or if I'm not feeling happy, I go into the kitchen. I open Tabasco. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. The pickled peppers. So I go into the kitchen and I put like 5 drops of this directly on my tongue. Pavan shivers and yeah.
you are just short
Cringes.
circuiting your pain receptors. It's like you are putting a fork in your brain, and like that's what you're doing. You are.
And Anusha says that when I started eating more raw, I noticed how much the chili is not needed in my diet. How do you live, man? You can't. No, no. Don't
No, I
torture
agree with
yourself.
her.
Life
You
is
don't
short.
you don't
Life
really
is
need
short.
chili.
Enjoy your
Yeah,
life. Enjoy your life.
yeah.
Live to the fullest. Eat chili.
I think masochistic. You need some sort of a masochism in your life to enjoy chili, like eating habanero sauce on the side, and
Yo, science proves that endorphins are released when you eat chili. So I am releasing endorphins in a healthy manner. You need to be supportive of this.
I'm very supportive of this. I buy Thai chili peppers to for you.
Yeah, well, you buy them.
I ordered them at least.
All right, here's an experience I had. I had a packet of Korean spice seaweed. Had to sit down after because my receptors were going crazy. So, being logical, I ate a little every day. I'm foolishly proud to say that I can eat a packet of that seaweed without that issue anymore. Other issues, maybe, but, but not that one.
I have 99 problems, but not eating a packet of seaweed is not one. And exactly what I said. You guys shot your thermostats. So when you are eating a small one, so you are breaking one thermostat after another hour after another. Now there are no thermostats left in your tongue. The only thermostat is like the 100 degrees centigrade one. The only thing, and if you keep eating Thai Carolina Reapers, you would burn out that
I
thermostat
haven't.
too.
You
Then there
can't
you would
find
not fit any heat. There is no point.
y-
Like you are burning out everything.
you can't find Carolina Reaper in the market. So you have to get seeds and grow your own Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, that's not possible in a cold climate. So there is we can talk about that, but
Sarah can do it. They're gardeners. So that's a challenge for Three Kitchens podcast. Please
no,
grow
you need
Carolina Reaper for
dry
me.
heat. You need dry heat. You can't really like you can't
Maybe
really.
someone has a greenhouse. They have one of them has a greenhouse.
Maybe you have to increase the humidity, decrease the humidity, and increase the heat. So if
Yeah.
you want, yeah, like
So
you
if you
need
have a
like a.
greenhouse, you can cook in it, or you
Yeah,
can.
it's basically, yeah, you read the point. So uh, maybe we are going deep into the capsaicin, but the capsaicin is, you need, if there is lot of water in the pepper, in the fruit, the capsaicin is diluted and you don't produce it so much. So the fruit has to grow in a very, very dry, hot environment, and the more hot it is, the more chance of fungus growing. More wet it is, the more chance of fungus growing in it. So there it needs like real dry heat to do that. So all these peppers need to be grown in a very hot environment. So the colder climates, so in Kashmir, the Kashmiri chili, what is available in
Yeah, let's
Kashmir.
talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kashmir, the amount of capsaicin is very little, but the chili becomes really red. So it's like a food coloring with very little capsaicin. So when you add Kashmiri chili powder, you make it's like a natural food color because of its very intense red. It's one of the most reddest chilies. So
Mm.
that's what it is. So because Kashmir is a higher altitude and northern climate, so you don't get so much. It doesn't get really hot, and it's a very endemic. It's an Indian chili. It's not something new, but it just adapted to grow in a cold climate.
Mm-hmm.
I want that segue. So in southern India, where I come from, where my both parents come from, it's
You
called.
can't represent all of South India. You know that. We got a comment.
Yeah, so I represent a small little town in Nellore. But can I represent Nellore? But I have to go down
Just
even to Kottur.
to
But
the
Kottur has like,
small village on the outskirts of Nellore. Yeah, sorry, we're referring to a comment that we received that you can't represent the entire South India because you're not from the entire South India. I didn't quite understand what that meant, but go ahead.
yeah. So the village, the chili is grown in South India, especially the Guntur area, which is in the central Andhra Pradesh, which is very dry and hot and dry climate. Is one of the hot, like is been traditionally very hot chilies. So they are called Guntur Sannam. Sannam is thin, so Guntur thin chilies. They are the ones which are exported. And so the first chilies which come to ripe around summer, that's when the mangoes come to, the raw mangoes, April or May. That's when in Andhra Pradesh they make a chili. They make a pickle, mango pickle called avakai. My,
Heaven,
my yeah,
heaven.
my mom ships avakai, like this is how it looks like. This is all red chili powder from Guntur chili peppers. The Scoville units are around 30 to 40,000, so they are not really they're not really that hot. So this is in sesame seed oil and mustard seed powder. That's all it is: sesame seed oil, mustard seed powder, raw mangoes, and Guntur chili peppers.
It's
So this
heaven.
is, yeah, if I'm talking about it, my mouth
My
waters.
mouth is watering. My mouth is watering just hearing you talk about
Yeah,
it.
and so
It's
my mom ships it from India she makes it specially for me and ships it. uh,
me
yeah,
too.
ships it for us. So, and Roop eats. Roop is the main consumer of it. I eat once a week or something, but Roop consumes it. She consumes it. So this is a very typical Andhra pickle, and it is and no one who is Telugu would really, their mouths water when you say Andhra avakai. It is as tasty as it. And there are people who can eat it raw. I can't do it. I have to. So the way to eat this is, you put it in hot steaming rice, put a slice of mango avakai, and then put a big dollop of ghee, mix it with hand and eat it like red. Your hand should get red, and then you
And the oil should drip down the elbow.
and
Cringe. Oh man. But yeah, I eat a lot of avocado. Avocado is another one of my what's that food called when you're stressed? Man,
Comfort food.
comfort food. Yes. Am I frozen?
No,
Or are
you're
you
not.
frozen?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, it is my comfort food. I take before I knew Avakai, before all of this, like before I met Pavan, I am going to represent North India now.
You're only.
Only a small part of Ludhiana I'm going to represent. So when I was growing up, my comfort food used to be rice, white rice, and then I would take green chili pickle. Green chili pickle is amazing. What are you making faces for?
No, I thought you would eat green chili by itself with rice.
No. White rice and then green chili pickle and then yogurt with it. So I'll make it really hot and then I'll add a little bit of yogurt. That was my comfort food. And I ate with a spoon and not with my hand. So when I met Pavan and I discovered avakai, the green chili green chili pickle went out the window. This avakai took over because it's got mango. It's got this really pungent chili pepper, the Guntur chili pepper, which is, I think it has a higher shu than
it's
the green
around
chilies.
200,000. I think it's maybe 100,000 to 200,000. It's
Yeah,
there.
and
It's
it
not
has
really. Yeah.
It has an amazing kick, and then you've got fat in it too, so it doesn't kick you
Sesame
as
seed oil
bad.
has very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't kick you as bad, but if you feel the flavor, and it's very flavorsome, but as it goes down, it doesn't burn you. I find that about avakai. It can be eaten by anybody, even if your thermoreceptors or whatever receptors are not shot.
we should maybe when my next avakai comes, we should have an avakai tasting session for our chili friends.
Yeah.
You are all maybe whenever the next avakai the next avakai would come, we will have a chili tasting and the thing with maybe this is getting into
Anusha's obviously out because she eats 1 to 3 drops of the oil. I take, you know what I do, Anusha? Okay, I'm gonna add to that. You know what I do? I take nacho chips, like the nachos. I take those chips and I take the chili, not the mango, the chili part with the oil, and I put it on the chips and I eat it direct in my mouth. It hits. There's an explosion of flavor in the mouth. Oh, it's heaven. And of course, the sauce, if anyone didn't see it, the mom's Okanagan.
I'm guessing they use habaneros in it. That's my guess. I figured what it is it's like a tomato. It's a tomato jam for practical reasons. It's overcook the tomatoes and then they add then they fry habaneros and then they add the habanero sauce into the grind habaneros into those tomatoes. That's my.
Strangely, they do not mention what pepper they're using. Of course, they don't want to give out the truth. They don't give out the secret of their recipe. But it's white vinegar, tomato paste, mustard, sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and spices. I think spices is what.
Yeah, and the reason is when we went to Penticton, the Oliver, I saw habaneros growing in Oliver. So there.
But it's got a black pepper profile to it too. It's got that black pepper in it too.
The mustard seeds most likely. I don't know.
Fair enough. But yeah, guys, this is good stuff. Sorry. And get the darn hot one. I'll actually put the name and the address of them in the caption. Maybe that's what I do. I don't know where. Maybe we can Google it. But yeah, that's a good stuff. Okay, you were saying you're having the avakai tasting.
I will. Let's do an avakai tasting. We'll get $10 per tasting.
Sarah's gonna eat Anusha's portion as well because Anusha's gonna have 1 drop of oil.
And the avakai, the fresher it is, has a different taste. The more it stays, the taste changes. So the more the fresher it is, the just off the flight, you will have the taste of the mustard powder. You can taste different portions of it, but as it ages, it has a different taste. So the aged avakai is also has a different taste. It's a different flavor.
It's not so spicy, I find. It's more sharp in its early stages, but as it goes,
it mellows down.
Yeah.
Like
so it's not
wine,
so, yeah. Talking about how the spices are used in cooking or not, there is a restaurant called Bindi Restaurant. It's in the UK in Lincolnshire. And they apparently had this dish called the widower, which they used 20 ghost peppers in, the butchalakia. Apparently, they sold about 500 to 600 of those dishes. And 3/4 of the people who attempted to eat it, they finished it. So people
Well,
like me went there.
yeah, they broke their thermoreceptors. So I am not really surprised. If you break everything, there is nothing there to. It's like you become a bird, right? You don't have a receptor. You are just a crow.
But you said that ghost pepper is not used anything. I kind of like I asked a couple of my friends who also eat a lot of chili, and it's used in the chicken. You marinate the chicken in ghost pepper.
It's no well nowadays there
And
are
hot
ways to use
sauces,
it.
of course.
Nowadays there is a way to use all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the Assamese people who it is a native that do, they never really used it in actively in cooking. That's what I was mentioning to.
Yeah. And there it's mostly as much as I understand, like it's mostly being used in the meat curries. The ghost pepper, it gives a very adds to the flavor of the meat curries. So ghost pepper, and I've actually seen it in salsa. Salsa is a really good you can add ghost pepper to a salsa, and I think I've done it too a couple of times. What else can you use? You can use it as a spread.
Spread on what?
Add it to your jam.
Oh no.
It'll give it a kick, man.
No, I'm sure it does.
It will give you a kick. And anyone want to do a chili challenge, chili eating challenge? Although we are all in our 30s and 40s, I don't think we should
Well,
be doing food challenges
no,
right now.
but the thing is, getting a heart attack with chili is not really. There is no way capsaicin will cause a heart attack. That's not going to happen.
It prevents
Maybe,
heart attacks. And
yeah.
Anusha said I was being biased. No, I'm not being biased. It's science, man. It's science.
So you
It
eat it
helps
and
your
then you
heart.
get an allergy and then something happens, then you die. If you're not allergic to it, you need an overdose of Carolina Reaper, 3 or 4 of it you will. But if you eat one Carolina Reaper, you, you need to eat 3 or 4. See
No.
what? No.
No. I
There are
think one
better
is
ways.
enough.
There are easier ways to die rather than eating 3 or
Okay,
4 Carolina.
I'm going to tell you something even more interesting with not even more interesting. It is. I find it interesting is that when my mouth burns with chilies, which it does too, like it's not like my receptors are totally broken. I eat it because my mouth burns and I want to make it burn. That's why I eat chilies, just to let you know. My
Yeah,
mouth,
but you would burn the receptor too.
I feel the pain, but I feel the pain. So my receptors are functional. Thank you. So I feel the pain, but when my mouth is burning, I do not drink milk right away. I let it burn because
Yeah, the
I enjoy.
masochism. That's what
I
it is.
enjoy that,
Yeah, masochism.
and that happens every dinner.
Yeah, good for you. Not that kind. I don't need. I have
But
it.
the worst is like if you, let's say you've handled chili or you've been eating chili with your hand and then you accidentally rub your eye
Yeah.
or you put it like on your skin somewhere and oh man, that burns. My hands don't burn because I think I've burnt all the sensors off my hands. They're done.
The eyes are
I've
the ones.
roasted them off.
The eyes are the one which
Eyes,
really.
oh my god. Oh my goodness, that kills. So you have to make sure that you wash your hands after you handle
Yeah.
chili so that you don't touch your
Yeah.
face anywhere.
Imagine handling Carolina Reaper and touching your eyes. I think you would lose your eyes. I'm sure of that. Like, that would really damage your eyes.
Yeah, I mean even lips I find. Like if I'm eating chili, I have to make sure that okay, this is so personal. So if you eat chili, like I don't just go in. I always like go in and put it between my teeth so it doesn't touch my lips.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like eating them right now. Like they're just right here within my reach.
Eat some avocado.
Yeah, you have it. You took it upstairs. The props are not with me. But yeah, that's how I eat the green chili. I make sure that okay, if you had to pick between chili and salt, what would you pick?
No, neither. But I would pick chili or salt.
Chili any day. I don't like
Chili has
salt.
more chili or has more flavor. Salt is just one flavor. Chili has a
Yeah.
has a
I don't
has a
eat
very
salt. So that's interesting. I don't eat salt. I mean, you can give me some food without salt. I'll handle it. I'm not a salt fan much of it. So, in fact, I find the dishes that we get in restaurants, Indian restaurants, I find them too salty.
mm.
I don't like them. So I always add yogurt to the dishes. Like when we go out, like I always have to have yogurt. I always have to have something with it to temper down the salt for me. I don't like salt. I don't know what Sarah said no way to, but no way, man. I agree with you. I think we've covered everything. Chili. Is there anything that we left?
I think she said nowhere to when you said that those the British restaurant which sold 10
Oh
ghost
yeah,
pepper
the
dishes.
bocciolaccia. Yeah. 3/4 of people ate it. I don't think I can handle it. I really thought I could handle that burrito, and I fell into it because my daughter challenged me to it. She's very proud of me. She actually gloats about me to her friends that my mom can handle habanero. Your friend, Ghislaine, actually, Ghislaine and Daryl, their friends had that chili that you guys brought home.
Habanero sauce, the habanero sauce, and they couldn't handle it, and they said, "Oh," and so I said, "Yeah, Roop will eat it," and then I got to Roop, and Roop just took it and chugged it. I just tasted the little bit of it, and I couldn't, and Roop chugged it. It's like, what? You just crazy.
And I love chili. All right. I I think we've covered everything chili. We should go
No,
now.
I think you missed one point. How much you love chili?
Oh, do you want me to start talking about that? It's been 1 hour of us talking about how much I love chili. I can go over it again if you'd like. Guys, all I need is rice, white rice, and chili. And yogurt. And I'm happy.
Before going off,
Oh,
my
not white
sister,
rice, naan bread too. Yeah.
my sister, what she really craves is the chili flakes you have. She takes chili flakes, she squeezes lemon into it, fresh lemon into it, and then puts little bit of salt, and then adds oil to it, and then puts it on white rice and eats it like that. She would travel everywhere, and she would come home, and that's what she would crave. My sister.
Yeah, I remember she would when she was coming to Houston, she was traveling in the US at the time. She was working there, and then she would call us and she'd tell us at the airport, "I'm here. Put rice on the stove. I'm coming." And she'd come home and I'd have chili flakes ready for her. She'll put that in oil and lemon and salt, and
Yeah,
you have to microwave it for 10 seconds.
yeah.
You have to heat it.
That I forgot.
And oh,
It's
my grandma. We didn't talk about my grandma. We talked about chilies and we didn't talk about my grandma. How
and
do
and
we miss
and
that?
the in Chinese restaurants, the hot chili oil is also very
Oh,
very tasty. That really brings
yeah.
out the flavor too.
Yeah, we talked about chilies and we didn't talk about my grandma. I should have talked about my grandma in the beginning of the show. All right, so my grandmother lived to 96 years old and she didn't have cholesterol, she didn't have stroke, she didn't have any disease at all. And her blood work was better than my mom's in 90s, and my mom was in her 50s. So, what was her secret recipe? Well, she did not eat any fruits, vegetables, any raw foods that Anusha's been talking about and that Pavan keeps talking about. None of that. Her breakfast was paratha with dahi
And
and a
chili.
chili. And then she, at 11 o'clock, she would have a tea with half a cup of sugar and half a cup of tea. So, really sugary tea. And then she would have for lunch, she would have dal, a little bit of dal, and roti, and dahi, and chili, and with salt, chili and salt. And 4 p.m., she'd have her tea again. And then dinner, she'd have the same dal, roti, and chili. Never ate any vegetables, never ate any fruits. And that's what I've seen all my life. And she passed when I was 38. And the woman lived to 96 without any health complications. Zero. So, hence, eat 3 chilies a day, keeps the doctor away.
Don't
I
do
win.
that. Don't do that.
What? You have living proof in front of you.
Yeah, well,
It
that
breaks down the
that's
in your arm.
that there is a bias called survivor bias. So you don't there are how many people? Okay, let's not, don't do that. Eat a complete diet. Don't.
All right. Okay. So that was my grandmother, and she, rest in peace, Ma. She was amazing, and she also used to take red chili pepper, the ground red chili pepper, and she would mix that in hot oil, and she would eat that with roti.
Oh,
That is so delicious. Can you imagine like how good that is?
yeah, no.
Yeah, it's really good. It's similar to what your sister does, but I think I should do that right now. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna make really spicy fried rice right now because that is what is going to happen tonight. But it was lovely chatting with you, and we went over an hour.
Yeah.
I can't believe that we talked about chili for an hour.
You, not me, didn't let me talk.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I did let you talk.
No.
It was my topic. You talk about robots. Chili is my thing. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you very
Next
much.
time you get a lamp, please, so I can see your face.
I will.
All right. Have a good night, you guys. Thank you for joining us as always. Really appreciate it. It's always a fun conversation. This is actually one of the funnest hour I have in the week because COVID. We're all sitting at home. And today, Rohi was telling me, Mama, I feel so sad. I haven't seen anyone in such a long time. I haven't seen any humans. So she sees her 3 or 4 friends, but she's like, I need to see more people. When I went to school, I saw more people. I saw 25 people, 30 people. I saw teachers. I saw different adults too. And now I don't get to see anybody, which was kind of heartbreaking. But I'm glad that we get to do this for our own mental health as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it.
Sat Sri Akal.
Gurjinder says, love